Great acoustics in here.
We're hot. We're live. Can we all clap?
One.
All right. Well, we're doing it. This is Talking Shift. We're at Stash. We're a big car park, and we're doing another bloody podcast. And for that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are right. We're going to get drowned out by all the other car podcasts out there, but why not, mate? We've got some interesting things to talk about, so let's talk about them.
Yeah. So we've got a car park, got cars, we've got people, and we thought, why not start a bloody chat about it? So 3.5, 4 years ago, I never thought I'd be in front of the camera, but this guy's managed to wangle me in front of a camera.
You love cameras?
I love cameras and I love being in front of the cameras. No, I don't like being in front of the camera, but we can do this. This is about being an adult. Here we are.
I can do it.
Yeah. So essentially what we're doing today is hitting the ground, what we're doing today is having our first podcast about what we do here at Stash. And step one is to talk a little bit about what we do and how we got here. We started it 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. Quick 3.5 years, mate.
And Scotty and I joined forces to open what we have today is a fully operating, semi-professional, mostly professional,
pretty professional
car park. What we do is premium car storage in a rock star facility here. It's a brick shit house. It's like engineered with an inch of its life to be able to provide some of the best car storage that we can in Sydney, if not Australia. We have 5,000 square meters in northwest Sydney, and
basically a bunker surrounded by concrete. One point of entry in and out, all car parking, self-drive in and out. So it's pretty bloody ideal for what we do as our core side of our business, which is the high-end automotive storage.
And with that, we've gone into many different avenues and just kind of gone where the stream's taken us, which has led us to where we are today, which is in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Doing a podcast.
It's interesting. Like, we started the business based on car storage because that's where we saw the opportunity. No one else is really doing it in a big way and not to the level we could do it. And we had a bit of a need for it, and there just had to be lots of other people in Sydney and Australia that have a need for tucking cars away because idiots like us have a propensity to buy more cars and they like to buy more than sell them. So we did the car storage, and then from there I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Called ourselves Stash Group because we didn't quite know where it was going to take us. Then we had Brody Kellett, who a lot of you guys will know, joined forces with us, and he looks after the detailing side of our business. So that was a really, really logical bolt-on. So pretty much every car that comes through our doors gets the Brody treatment, and Leighton as well, who helps in that area. So we got detailing. We've expanded that into PPFing as well, paint protection film. So as we kind of kept dealing with more high-range cars, they wanted that next level of protection, which is PPF.
It's interesting looking back on what started out as an empty floor space of 5,000 square meters, and before you know it, we're completely rammed full of cars. And I think it's been a real case of what's a nice way of saying it? Not fucking around and finding out. It's suck it and see. There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
And now we've got over 270 cars in here that we take care of, and with that, some beautiful customers as well. But all the value add businesses like a mechanic, Dave Lazara, who's quite infamous up and down the East Coast for his work. He's great to have on board because he can work on anything from McLarens through to 60s triple carby Ferraris and everything in between. So having him in here is a massive value add as well. And then we've gone into the distribution side of things with products, working with Larry over in Ammo NYC. Getting that here is also not something we ever thought of, but again, it was
huge though.
It was a decision of let's make a phone call and see if he's interested. And before you know it, we had Larry out here
a bit over a year ago, sitting in the same spot, mate, doing what we're doing right now.
Just the paths and the avenues that it's brought us down to has been really kind of unexpected. We thought it was going to be a pretty slim operation of just Scott and I handling it ourselves, and then we've just taken on these many fingers that have landed us at this point. But it'd be boring if it was just you and I
and parking cars.
And recently we've brought on DJ as well to handle our media. He's also behind the camera now, which is where I'd prefer to be ordinarily, but here we are. And so DJ can offer his photography service. We can do everything from trackside, capturing those moments when you're out on the road, out on the track. If you need pre-sale photos, if you've just had your car look Mickey Mouse and gone through with all the detailing, we can come through and photograph it because it's never going to look as good as the day it leaves here.
Yes.
So it's nice to be able to kind of just add these little tabs onto what is essentially a big car park,
Mm.
and it's grown into so much more. It's been really organic, natural. Everything's landed in the right time. We haven't forced anything, and I think that's when the best results show themselves, is through just sheer demand and presenting themselves to us. And I'm really happy that it's come about that way, because I don't think we would have ever imagined that it's come this way.
No.
But
It's been a unique journey, mate. Why did we start Stash? Why did you and I partner up and go, let's build a big car park and store cars for people like that? Big pivot from what you were doing, big pivot from what I was doing. Made a lot of sense, and 3 years down, it's been successful, and, we're keen to see what the future holds for us. But, how do we get here? Because it's a weird one.
Yeah, do you want? It's probably better. Your origin story is probably
All right.
more relevant at this stage.
Yeah. I came up with the idea of a car storage business. It'd be a long time ago now, 8 or 10 years. Just from a requirement of our own sort of growing car collection. So family's got some toys and some really quirky old stuff. And we had them in a shed on a farm, and they just weren't being stored the way you would want them to be stored. We didn't have the space, so we couldn't access them properly. We couldn't maintain them as well as we'd like. And that's a big part of the car storage business offering. It came about that, yes, let's actually have a crack at this and do it properly, because I think there's going to be people with similar problems that want the services of car storage. So started fleshing a business out, went down the path of a really autonomous kind of business model where customers would let themselves in and pick their cars up, and really hands off. But as the concept evolved, it just needed a human touch, and it's such a big part of what this business has become, is the connections you make. So I basically called Josh. I remember where I was when I caught him, and this would have been 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago. And I said, and we're, mates for 25 years, high school, and been through a lot of different shit together. And I just said to Joshy, mate, do you ever thought about running a car storage business? And he was doing something completely different, doing really well. And it would have been a bit of a weird conversation, I reckon, but
felt right.
Felt right, because I thought about it. I'm like, geez, no, I actually reckon it'd be perfect. Knows his shit about cars, incredible with people, and finds solutions to things, and just makes things happen. So, and that's all we do here. We just assist people. So then Joshy essentially jumped into the formation of the business from the get-go. I have my skill set, and Josh has his skill set. So thank God he named the business and made it look the way it does, because I would not have done anywhere near what he's done. And that's why we worked really well together. Yeah, I've got a background in just business, medium-sized business, retail, but a lot of that skill is transferable here to a car storage business. And that's why I guess we run a pretty tight ship, which is good. But then Joshy really brought it to life. So that's over to you, mate. Where was the influences that gave you the skills to create this beautiful brand?
Knows. That's the wrong answer.
I reckon it's pretty good.
No, well, I think the impetus for the name was so broad brush, because we didn't know what we were going to do.
What do you mean?
We thought, well, we knew what we were going to do, but it was going to be as simple as storage. But we didn't know whether we were going to be pigeonholed into automotive or wine cellarage, or it was just going to be storage. We've got this space, see what happens. But with cars being the main driver for this space, and something that we like doing, so we thought, well, let's just go with that. But Stash was this kind of like all-encompassing word. It was punchy. It's 5 letters. It's fairly memorable, but it's also can get lost in a crowd as well, which is this kind of balance of discretion versus visibility. That was a bit of a juggle at the start, but now we've a few years in, we're super stable and sure of ourselves and what our presence looks like. But it's this kind of just an anonymity to that word, but infers exactly what it infers. So people now use it as a verb to say that they're going to put something in here, is they're going to start stashing a car.
Yeah.
I'm catching more people saying, I'm going to stash that. So it's kind of cool that it's evolved into that. But something that's not as obvious as car storage, like it's just a little bit kind of obscure. Yeah, Scott had some ideas, and they were strong until they weren't, until I had stronger ideas, and then we both agreed that they were good ideas. And
what do you mean?
And like, no idea is a good, no idea is a bad idea until there's a better idea.
True.
And
Very true.
we landed on that. So I think it's worked well for us. And again, it's just short and to the point. So I think we had the opportunity to make it as weird or as wonderful or as normal or left or right as it could have been. So I think what we've built is a real representation of our generation in the industry as well. I think, there's so many different segments in the market, but we've kind of landed in our own space. There's not a whole lot of competition to do what we do. So we just like, let's make it whatever we want it to be.
Yeah.
And that's really rare, to have the opportunity to grow something from nothing to something. Um, a massive, massive deal to be able to do. And Scott basically handed the keys to the whole business to me and said, do whatever you want. And having that freedom is not something that anyone will ever really, especially as a designer, would ever be able to have that in their career. To be able to say, just have at it and see what happens.
Do what feels natural, mate.
Yeah, without them saying, "Oh, my mum's gardener thinks it should be pink, not purple." So, and that's how the brand has landed here, and that's what's also been able to land a certain demographic of customers as well. People have looked at us as a bit more of a premium product, just purely through brand.
It's good, mate. It's it to attract the caliber of cars and the type of people that we want to be working with, I guess, is you need a premium brand, and you've nailed that. And the proof's in the pudding. 270 odd cars in here speaks volumes from 0 3 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like you say, you don't want to be the first customer at the restaurant.
Yeah,
and
exactly
we
right.
had no customers in this restaurant, and no.
And it was wild, man. We're not from the automotive world, so we did not really know anyone.
Zero reputation.
3.5 years ago.
And zero dependability from the get-go.
Yeah,
so building that trust and reputation from scratch has been the real challenge, but it's done exactly what it needs to do. So
yeah, and that sort of ties into, I guess, your ability and I guess what we do within the business as well. But the key thing that you can do for our customers is to make them feel at ease and at home when they walk through this door. Like that's your number one skill, and it's, I guess, a big part of what you do within the stash business. So yeah, like what does a normal day for you look like? I know it's pretty broad these days, but you're more the front of the stash brand, which is great.
Yeah,
because you're way better looking than I am. But yeah, what does it look like, mate?
I'll get home at the end of the day and my wife will say, "What do you do today?" I go, I couldn't tell you. Honestly, like it goes through and breeze. I've never had a slow day in here ever. I used to work lots of jobs where it's like you're looking at the clock all the time, where it's just you look at the clock and you're going, I better go home. It's anything from billing to delivering, picking up people, booking cars in for slips and services and administrative things, to helping the boys wash a car once in a while. Not that I do a good job. No one day is the same. People go, "Oh, it must be so amazing to be able to drive all these cars." I go, "But I only drive them in reverse at about 10 k's an hour," which is often the diciest thing to be able to do, particularly when they've got
next to another one.
They got no visibility in them. You're trying to, and I've got a bad neck because small cars, and roll cages and everything in between. But yeah, no one day is the same. Yeah, shooting videos and photos and promoting social media, all that sort of fluff. It's
the life of a small business owner,
life of a small business. Wear many hats. We all wear many hats.
Yes,
we're not afraid to get our hands dirty doing bits and pieces. But that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, and we're pretty fortunate that you and I have had a pretty incredible start to the business relationship. So at the start, we were pretty set in the areas that we would look after within the business. And I think it comes down to just where your skills lie. And so Josh is all the front of house, the creative, the customer facing side of it. I'm a bit more of the back end, the accounting side of functions and assisting as needed around the place. But then we've got, 3 other people in the team who are all incredible. Brody Kellett, head of detailing and a shareholder with Joshy and I. Leighton Vella, he joined us pretty early. He basically just came to us and said, "Guys, I want to work here. What can I do?" And we said, "You good at detailing?" He's like, "No, teach me." And here he is detailing all these cars with Brody, and now he looks after the ammo distribution side and the marketing and that side of things. So he's been instrumental in that growth as well. And then most recently, DJ, I'm sure a lot of you guys will know, David Smith, joining us as sort of media manager and just looking to offer that service, but also create content and build a bit of excitement now that our business is more established and we can grow this. So we've got an incredible team. Everyone gets along really well. Everyone puts in, 120%. So I think we're extremely fortunate with that. But then the biggest part of what we have here is our customers.
And
that,
I think that's where it leads us to now is we can stop talking about so much about the business, but more about the people that come through our front door.
yeah,
And I think that's what keeps all of us engaged on any given day. When you say, what do I do every day? It's actually a lot of chatting, which is my favorite part because they're far more interesting than I am. And I think they bring so much more to, like we said, this is just a car park, but it's the life force behind this place is the people that are behind the wheel. Cars are great. They're beautiful to look at. They're shiny, good colors, but at the end of the day, they're just things. And I think the human element to this place is what's fascinating, and that's what's led us to this point here.
Because you'll spend an hour with a customer and never actually talk about a car.
No.
Just
No.
the story. What have they been up to? What do they enjoy? Like,
Yeah.
what do they do to, what have they been successful at to be able to play with these toys now? So there's so much more to the customers and the cars as well. But the cars, that's the glue. It keeps us all.
Yeah, it's the common thread for
It's
sure.
the common thread. Yeah, that's a good way to describe
I think it keeps us all coming back for more. But the human side of it, I've had people in here, crying on my shoulder about this and that, and it's I love that. It's totally disarming in here, and I think that is what the car does. I love that about it.
Yeah.
I think that there's a sense of vulnerability in here, and that's also something that we started to think about when we opened up. Was like, how do we? And it's not to go into men's health too hard, but there is an opportunity to have more transparent conversations, more real talk. It's about time we started talking. It's nice to see people bear their vulnerabilities, and I think that's something that's really beautiful about what this industry can do for people.
Yeah.
And maybe it's more on the kind of enthusiast side of things. This is not a place where you're going to get sold something that you don't need. You're not going to be pushed a product. It's actually just we're a service and we're a convenience offering for people, so we can actually take the sting out of needing to push something upon people. They either need us or they don't need us. And so once people find that they need us, it breaks down all these barriers. There's no artificial kind of interactions that happen in here. So the people that have come through have been the best part by far. And that's why we want to have these conversations in here, is because I think it's the real stuff. So that's why we want to capture what we're doing today, is to be able to have these conversations with other people and see what they've got to say. So we kind of landed on the name for this podcast as Talking Shift, as a play on talking shit, because we're absolute wordsmiths and
a lot of shit is talked. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And that's why we created the podcast, is because we're like, the conversations we have here are unique, they're interesting, they're eye-opening, they're
and these people have done things that we'll never do in our lifetime. And I think people that drive trucks for a living, or those that are completely on the other end of the
C-suites and
the P&L, like
top end of George Street, like,
but they can all come in here and have around the pool, and bad pool at that. But that ability to all be under one roof, irrespective of who you are, I love. So that's what we're gonna queue up a bunch of conversations with industry professionals, with customers, enthusiasts, race car drivers, to journalists, brokers, anything in between, because there's plenty to share in here.
And why people are obsessed by these cars. So whether it's a Falcon or a Ferrari, we've got Falcons and Ferraris in here. It doesn't really matter to the customer. They love what they love, and we love the Falcon just as much as the Ferrari, because the customer's so excited about them. So I think, at the end of the day, they're just pieces of metal with four wheels, but there's this emotional attachment that people get with them, regardless of the badge on the front. And we're pretty fortunate that we have that huge, diverse range of cars. Porsches are the main kind of car we have in here. And I think there's a reason for that, because they're the purists. They're the real enthusiast.
Well, it hits the middle mark of collectability and enthusiast driver, all that balance. And I think that particular mark gets people by the heartstrings, and they can't get rid of the thing. They can't sell it. They go, I'll never sell that car.
We got a lot of those in here.
These attachment issues of like, it's a part of me, I can't get rid of, which is
and passed down from like grandfather to grandson. Like we've got cars in here that need full restorations. They are
non-runners.
non-runners, and they're not going to run for a while. But it was his granddad's, and he's never going to sell it. He pays the same amount to store it as the next to the Lambo next to it. But it's not about the money. It's about the emotional attachment, and that one day he will restore it and get it back to its former glory. So it's all those types of stories that our customers provide us that we think would be cool to be made a bit more public.
Yep.
And they're the kind of guests we want on here because everyone's got a cool story.
Even if no one listens, we get to still have a good yarn. So
yeah,
I'm not really faced.
Well, it's the chat we have in there. Now it's just in front of a camera. That's literally the only difference.
Yeah.
With an outro and an intro. Intro and
We've
an
got to
outro.
work on that.
We might have to figure that out.
So
what do you drive, Joshy?
I drive a Toyota GR Yaris.
You would drive a Toyota GR Yaris.
Yep. I've got a problem with hot hatches. I always have. And what's beautiful is Scott will never understand my hot hatch thing. No matter how many come in the door, I'll be like, "You like this?" You go, "No." If it's got that hatch, is no good. Doesn't care how it drives. Doesn't care what the provenance is, the value, the rarity. He's like, no.
It's a cracker drive.
No.
It is.
Anyway.
I'm not going to buy one, but it's a cracker drive.
Anyway, GR Yaris is probably the best car I'll ever own. And I've said that. And I still, like, I'm 100,000 Ks into it in nearly 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still washing it. I go, I don't think I'll get a better car.
Yeah.
It is perfection. I love the story. I love the engineering. I love the way it looks. And most of all, the way it drives. I like that it's a Toyota. I could wax lyrical about a GR Yaris for a long, long time.
As you should.
And people get sick of it. But I think that is the key, is that I've hit the nail on the head as far as what makes me happy.
Yes.
And I think that's something a lot of our customers and people in life are constantly looking for, like, what's the thing? What's the one thing? And I think what our business is derived on is people not being sure of what they like or liking everything and being sickos. There's people in here who...
Or really liking one thing.
Yeah. And then just having many of them.
Yes, many of the same thing.
But the beautiful thing about my car is that it takes care of so many things. I can track it. I can do the groceries. I can park it.
Yeah.
I can commute in it. And I love that Swiss Army knife effect of a car. That's always been really appealing to me. And that's probably why I like a hatchback. And it makes me happy. And I still look back at it in the car park.
And there's no better way to spend 50, 60 grand. So we bought that new.
Yeah.
That was the first stash car.
Yeah.
Like,
what represents us?
Yeah, what represents
me?
Our stash, our business, but mainly Josh, because Josh should drive every day. Like, you can't go past that car. It is incredible. And all our customers get it. They just know, crack a car. I hope to God we never sell it. Because then we went and bought this thing, and, the CS is a cracking car, and that's a bloody good way to spend, a bit more than double the Yaris, but does a lot of the same stuff.
Does the
awesome
same
performance.
Same lap time around Eastern Creek in that thing.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Like, that's a perfect metric for it. Maybe that's just me being a bad driver, but hopefully long term we'll be able to keep that Yari because it's a cracking car, and it's like OG stash.
Yeah,
it's got the first stash number plate on it that we got our hands on, and
any customer with a bunch of cars will have one as well.
Yeah, true.
Even guys with hypercars, they'll still say, "I'll get a Yaris because it makes me feel something."
Don't we have a customer with two?
Yeah.
Now, me on the other hand, I drive something a fair bit different. Well, I don't live in the city like you.
It's not a small car.
No, but I got to tow a bit. Remember when we were towing stash cars around?
Oh yeah, we did tow.
That was the reason we bought this ute.
Towies.
I've got an F250 ute, and I just love the practicality of it.
Such a practical
car. Practical everything except for parking in a shopping centre.
Or going near the city.
Yeah, well, I don't do that a lot. I strive to not to go to the city. But yeah, I love that car. It's super versatile. We tow a lot. We do a lot. And yeah, for me, it ticks all the boxes. And I got a bunch of young kids, so 3 baby seats in the back, all their junk. And yeah, I like
that was my dream car when I was 16.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier.
Yeah,
maybe younger. And I used to look at that car and go, I'll have one of those one day.
Yeah.
And the older I get to go, it doesn't fit my life.
Yeah.
It fits your life.
True.
But driving it is a good time.
I love it.
I feel like king of the road.
Talking about cars, what's something that's come through recently that you either really like or don't quite get?
Okay. Well, what I really like, it's an obvious one, but there's a few Porsches in here that are coming for detailing, and they're all 3RSs, and they're actually of all 4 generations: 996, 997, 991, and 992s. And I was actually just walking past them from the rear.
Well, because I'm looking at them right now.
I'm not. But if you look from the rear, you can see all the wings, kind of the different generations, and you know what the 992. It's like a bench table. It's cool seeing the years, and it's pretty rare that you actually get to see them in the person.
Where do you see that lineup?
In the flesh? Yeah, seeing them all go bang, 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 and they've just, I think, it's blown my mind seeing all of those things together. And again, it's one of those, like, you got to stop for 2 seconds, look around, and go, "Oh, that's pretty fun." That's mad.
How about I just tell you what I'm liking at the moment?
Go.
E30 M3.
I don't know. Yeah,
like
we're breeding those at the moment.
They're popping out of everywhere. So yeah, I love that car. I love the shape. The drive, they're beautiful. We've got a customer that lets us drive theirs every now and again, just outside to maintain it. And like, you can just feel it would be a fun car to drive. Not stupidly high powered, but fun factor off the charts.
I think that's the key. Is I think the more you're around really high powered cars, the more you actually appreciate having not much power.
Yeah, 100%.
Wring its neck out and enjoy it. And that's why I love a 4-cylinder E30. It's awesome. And I like an E90, E92 V8 at the same time as well.
3-pedal V8, NA, 4-litre, can't go wrong.
I'll take the old stuff before the new stuff. But yeah, you can't go wrong with an E30. Right size, right shape.
Well, I think, mate, that's probably about good to wrap us up. We've done a bit of a brain dump on what Stash is, who we are, Josh and Scott. And I guess while we're looking to do this podcast for no other reason than just to share the kind of the car culture we get to see as part of this business and the cool people that we get to deal with every day. We think there's some opportunity for people to be part of those conversations. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, our email address is hello@stash.group instead of .com. Feel free to send us anything you want. And we look forward to doing a few more of these.
This will be up on IG, YouTube. We'll probably chuck it on Spotify as well.
Yeah.
Find it on our usual channels. And if there's any guests or anyone that you think could be of value to us, shoot them through.
100%. I would love to hear about it. Bye, friends.
Talking shift.
Bye, friends is going to be my outro.
Bye, friends.
Like Kenny. Bye, friends.